from a heart attack or something else simply by wearing a mask, then why not?
U.S. COVID-19 hospitalizations have reached record numbers.
Hands up! Drop the gun!
Body cam footage shows a standoff between police and a Utah man. Today is Veterans Day. See what veterans are doing to celebrate. Welcome to NewsLine. It's Wednesday, November 11th. I'm Karani Namonyo. New coronavirus numbers show that the pandemic is rapidly accelerating. The United States is shattering its record for new cases with more than 136,000 overnight. Hospitalizations are also hitting record levels. More than 61,000 Americans so sick with the virus they are in hospital. Adrian Broders has more.
The United States hit another grim milestone in the pandemic. More than 136,000 new coronavirus cases were reported on Tuesday, marking the 8th consecutive day the U.S. has seen more than 100,000 new cases. Dr. Anthony Fauci is concerned the country is growing fatigued from the pandemic.
I hope that the fact that people realize that help is on the way in the form of a vaccine, and soon, that would get them to be even more motivated to do the public health measures, because when you know help is on the way, don't give up.
As cases continue to spike across the country, more people are now in the hospital with the coronavirus than at any other point in the pandemic. Texas reporting more than 12,000 new COVID cases Tuesday and making it the first state to have more than 1 million confirmed cases.
Businesses are failing to comply with the state regulations and orders. Sadly, as a result, the virus has returned to our state in a big way.
The Surgeon General addressed the uptick of cases in South Dakota and implored residents to mask up.
If we can save a life from COVID or from a heart attack or something else simply by wearing a mask, then why not?
Governor Tony Evers issued a new executive order advising the people of Wisconsin to stay home.
Wisconsin, this is serious. The crisis is urgent.
COVID cases in Utah are on the rise. There are more than 138,000 total cases of COVID-19 in Utah as of today. More than 1,167,000 people were tested, and a total of 1,415,000 tests were reported. There have been more than 600 total deaths and more than 6,000 total hospitalizations. The Iron County Sheriff says he won't enforce statewide COVID-19 mandates. Iron County Sheriff Kane Carpenter says that his county will allow people to decide what to do about the new Utah's COVID-19 mandates. He says that business and people can make their own decision about the statewide COVID-19 mandates because health care is a personal decision and government shouldn't make those decisions for them. Carpenter also says that pandemic restrictions are affecting people with other adverse effects. Utah schools are turning to online learning as the state's number of COVID-19 cases continue to rise. Jordan High School and Indian Hills Middle School in the Canyon School District will immediately transition to online learning until after the Thanksgiving recess. Ogden High School is also closed due to COVID-19 until November 23rd. During the closures, the school will be cleaned and sanitized. The district schedules are subject to change based on future cases within the schools. Jordan School District is holding an emergency meeting tonight to discuss the spike in COVID-19 cases in their schools and what to do moving forward. The school district has been tracking the numbers of cases by date and the number of students and faculty in quarantine. The high numbers are a recent cause for concern as the holiday season approaches.
What I need to know is how would you change our process?
That's what I would like to hear from other board members. What we have going isn't working.
According to the dashboard, the schools district has more than 200 active cases of COVID-19 and more than 1,000 students and faculty quarantined. The District Board of Education hopes that the meeting will be informative and give them a plan of action for the coming months. The meeting will be held at 5 p.m. and will be streamed on Jordan School District's YouTube page for public viewing. Bodycam footage has been released from an officer involved in shooting in Huntsville on October 23rd.
Hands up! Drop the gun!
Deputies responded to a report of suspicious man with a gun who had fired multiple shots. Deputies had gunshots prior to arrival. When officers arrived, the suspect came out running toward them with a gun. One deputy fired several shots, killing the man. Both deputies were unharmed during the incident. The preliminary investigation revealed that the man lived in the Huntsville area and was under the influence of methamphetamine and at the time of the incident. The investigation is ongoing. A final report where all evidence will be submitted to the Weber County Attorney's Office. Police are looking for a man who was involved in homicide. Deputies responded to disturbance in the unincorporated Upper Valley west of Weber County on Tuesday, which was later discovered as a homicide. The suspect is considered armed and dangerous. He is believed to be driving a 2017 black Toyota Land Cruiser with Utah license plate number G143AP. He also is believed to be heading for Colorado. Please contact Weber County Sheriff's Office with any information at 801-778-6631. Today is Veterans Day. Kenzie McGuire tells us how we can honor the national holiday set aside for men and women who served in the United States Armed Forces.
Today we celebrate our veterans. For some, it's a family affair.
All of my brothers currently now serve in the Army. They're going through all this stuff, or, you know, the sacrifices that it takes, and they're willing to make that so that I can have the life that I have.
But every citizen has the chance to show their appreciation.
When people decide to serve their country, they raise their right hand and they say, I will go and defend the U.S. Constitution and my country, foreign and domestic, and for the freedoms that we have today.
And that's what sets us apart from the rest of the world, is because we have those freedoms. And if it wasn't because of a strong military, we wouldn't have those freedoms.
With the new social distance mandates, people are trading their Veteran Day parades for social media posts.
We knew that this Veterans Day would be a little bit different, but we wanted people to get involved virtually or through social media. So we came up with the hashtag Honor Utah Veterans.
All forms of gratitude are appreciated.
It's quite frankly nice, you know, people at least saying they appreciate us and this and that, you know, I mean, it means a lot.
Whether it's a post on social media, a phone call, or a donation to a local Veterans Service Department, anyone can find a way to show their appreciation to the armed forces. Reporting for NewsLine in Provo, I'm Kenzie McGuire.
And more on Veterans Day, Maddie Williams has the online coverage of Veterans Day and where veterans can go for some holiday goodies. Maddie.
Call it what you will. Remembrance Day if you worship hockey or have infamously bad teeth. Armistice Day for Europeans who never changed the holiday's name. Or Veterans Day if you get chills seeing a bald eagle. You know what it is, and we're celebrating it. Veterans Day commemorates all veterans in the armed forces, as opposed to Memorial Day, which honors fallen soldiers. The November 11th date honors the formal end of World War I, which took place the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918. And while the pandemic might have changed a few things about the holiday celebration, some, like visiting the tomb of the unknown soldier, are still being observed. With so many staying indoors today, people are taking to social media to celebrate. JD posted this moment of perspective. 2020 was bad. The years for World War I and World War II were worse. And William Shatner posted this international shout out. No matter what country you're from, no matter what symbol you wear, today we remember those who have sacrificed for world freedom. Some veterans are taking a more humorous approach. This U.S. Army soldier posting, "You're welcome," and Thomas posting a Full Metal Jacket reference. My brothers and sisters who have served and are serving, you have a special place in my heart. Enjoy your day, your jelly donuts, and each other's company. Veterans in the Salt Lake area can visit the George E. Whalen VA Hospital for a Thanksgiving box dinner available now until 2 o'clock today. Veterans can also check out militarybenefits.org or .info, excuse me, for a very long list of freebies, including donuts, coffee, and even full meals. A lot of great things on the list here. A huge thanks to all the men and women in the armed forces. Back to you, Karani.
It will stick with them a lot longer than just a generic wear your seatbelt sign.
While President Trump isn't giving up.
Oh my gosh, this got Tuck.
Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Oh, sweetie. Okay, you know what? Let's take off his sweatshirt. Get rid of pictures of him. You don't have to look at him. Goodbye, Dave.
Mom, you don't understand. He's tagged in like 400 of my posts.
I can cut out tags.
No, that's not how it works.
What is a tag?
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care would love to share their first with you.
While President-elect Joe Biden works on his transition, President still has yet to concede. And while Republicans continue to back him, Biden says he believes they will eventually acknowledge that he has won. Camila Bano has the latest on the transition.
President-elect Joe Biden moving forward.
We are already beginning the transition. We're well underway.
And as the Supreme Court weighs in on the Affordable Care Act, Biden says Americans are now united when it comes to health care.
For many Americans, they are a matter of life and death in a literal sense.
But President Trump not conceding the election, and Secretary of State Mike Pompeo also refusing to accept Biden's victory.
There will be a smooth transition to a second Trump administration. All right, we're ready. The world is watching what's taking place here. We're going to count all the votes.
So far, there's no evidence of widespread voter fraud, yet Republicans appear to continue to back the president in not yet conceding, including Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell.
At some point here, we'll find out, finally, who was certified in each of these states, and the Electoral College will determine the winner.
But Biden continuing with the transition. He says he doesn't think legal action will be needed and believes Republicans will eventually accept the results of the election.
I'm confident that the fact that they're not willing to acknowledge we won at this point is not of much consequence in our planning and what we're able to do between now and January 20th.
In Washington, I'm Camila Bernal.
Georgia's Secretary of State just announced a few hours ago that there will be a hand recount of all ballots cast in the presidential race. The move comes after pressure from Georgia Republicans over accusations of voting irregularities and mismanagement of the state's elections. Now that the elections is over, BYU students are coming to terms with how they voted, but also how the people around them voted. NewsLine reporter Joseph Carson talked to 6 BYU students about why they voted the way they did.
Different fears, hopes, and values played a role in who these students decided to vote for. 3 voted for Donald Trump and 3 voted for Biden. These students come from all over the country. They've got different backgrounds, different majors, but what they all have in common is that they all think they voted for the right person.
I'm from Carmel, California.
Houston, Texas. Originally from Baltimore.
I'm from Los Angeles, California.
From Pleasant Grove, Utah.
San Jose, California.
The news source I read most would be CNN.
The Washington Post. The New York Times.
Go to Ben Shapiro. I listen to him.
I listen to Ben Shapiro almost daily.
Basically just news sources that my friends on Facebook post.
I voted for Joe Biden.
I voted for Joe Biden.
Donald Trump.
I voted for Donald Trump. Joe Biden.
Well, if you can't tell, I voted for Donald J. Trump.
I sell commercial real estate for a living. My big priority is that they have their taxes low so they're able to, one, shelter their taxes, but as well, they're able to invest more into real estate.
I care a lot about social matters. I care about the Black Lives Matter movement. I care about immigration.
The biggest issue for me in this election was the handling of the coronavirus pandemic.
Number one reason why I voted for Donald Trump is the economy.
I think the reason that I voted for Trump is largely because of his business experience. I feel like Joe Biden is able to be bipartisan. I worry that nothing is really going to get done, that it's just going to be a stall of 4 years.
And whether you're for or against, I think everyone can agree that America needs change right now.
Although the students disagreed on a lot, everyone I talked to hopes the two parties will be able to come together to work for a better America. Reporting for NewsLine in Provo, I'm Joseph Carson.
Thanks, Joseph. Motorists driving Interstate 15 on a weekday afternoon might get to enjoy some Utah Department of Transportation pants and darts jokes. But the NewsLine reporter Whitney Leland tells us why safe driving is not a laughing matter.
As part of the Zero Fatalities program, the electronic signs take advantage of a holiday or national day of fill in the blank to spark interest and to remind motorists to drive safe. We want to get people's attention. We're trying to spark a conversation about traffic safety with an ultimate goal of changing behavior behind the wheel, said Kristen Hoshauer, Safety Outreach Administrator.
It sticks. As soon as you talked about the funny signs on the freeway, it clicked, and I was like, oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
For a Halloween gimmick, the electronic sign said not even ghosts have booze in their cars. Drive sober. Last Valentine's Day, Utah went straight to the heart of the matter of safety. No Valentine, your seatbelt will hold you.
I think the funnier, gimmickier one is more effective.
Hoshauer says yes, many of our messages are lighthearted and fun, but make no mistake, driving safety is a very serious issue to us. Far too many people are dying on our roads as a result of dangerous behaviors. We want people to buckle up, put distractions away, and focus on just driving.
It will stick with them a lot longer than just a generic wear your seatbelt sign.
While the messages are trying to remind motorists that safe driving and zero fatalities are important, it appears the numbers are still going up. The facts are people continue to die in accidents. According to Hoshauer, even in a year of fewer cars on the road, fatalities are up. Looking ahead to holiday and winter driving, Hoshauer asks that drivers buckle up, stay focused, drive safely, and enjoy the puns. Reporting for NewsLine in Provo, Whitney Leland.
Millions of Americans suffer from seasonal depression. NewsLine reporter Joe Belknap shows us how these students cope with the dark, cold days of winter.
More than just the winter blues, seasonal depression begins in early adulthood and resurfaces every winter for 4 to 5 months.
I noticed it pretty young. I was 14 when I noticed that I was experiencing seasonal depression, and it's something I've dealt with every year since, and I just turned 22.
Mental health experts say that seasonal depression is more common in northern climates. This BYU student noticed a difference in his mood when he spent a winter in the warmer and sunnier North Carolina.
Because in North Carolina, the winters, they're not hazy like they are in Utah. We don't have all the haze and the pollution and everything that's in the air. But out there, it's just sunny and it's still green during the winter time. Well, that's kind of when I noticed it. I'm still upbeat, I'm still happy, but it's January.
Due to daylight savings time, the sun has been setting earlier and earlier. It's almost pitch black here in Provo, but it's only 5:30. This darkness has caused problems for our friends with seasonal depression.
Turn on your lights at 5 p.m. because the sun's down. That is pretty rough, I think, especially for seasonal depression. And
this student offers her advice to those who might be experiencing seasonal depression.
Just kind of opening up to someone and processing through it in a different way is really helpful. And then it kind of lets you realize, as the person experiencing the seasonal depression, that more people go through it than you realize, and it's not a fight you have to fight alone.
This winter season, take care of your mental health. Reporting for NewsLine in Provo, I'm Joe Belknap.
A tornado touches down in Oregon, causing severe weather storm damage. Luckily, fire and rescue say there are no reported injuries, but buildings are left damaged in St. Helens. As you can see, there are broken trees, damaged items in yards, and downed trees. We do not have strong winds coming to Utah, but we do have some colder temperatures. As you can see with our radar, there is a cold front coming down from Idaho all the way to northern Utah, and that's going to cause us to have some colder temperatures. In Utah, you can see in today's temperatures that Logan is getting that cold front with a high of 35 and a low of 17. That's going to be the coldest temperature that we'll see today. With everywhere else is going to be in the 30s and the 40s. But in St. George, that's going to be our warmest temperature down with a high of 54 and a low of 35. As you can see in our 5-day forecast, we're going to have some sunny skies down in southern Utah with our lowest temperature tomorrow, but then the weekend's going to be pretty warm in the 60s, and our highest temperature is going to be on Monday. In northern Utah, we can see that Thursday, again, is going to be our lowest temperature. We're going to see maybe some rain and some snow throughout the weekend, but it's going to warm up again on Monday, and we're going to have a high of 54 and a low of 32. So just make sure you have your jackets, you stay warm, because there is snow and it's coming to northern Utah. Now back to you guys.
Real Housewives of Salt Lake City premieres tonight.
Don't drink, don't swear, treat your body like a temple.
Find out what to expect in this new season. Discover what old games and habits people have resorted back to because of the pandemic. All up next.
Time and time again, you know, when I'm doing street magic, I'll walk up to someone and I can just see that they're against me, right? They don't want to be amazed. They don't want this experience to happen. But then the magic happens and all of that falls away. It's the experience of waking up and seeing things the way you saw them before they became ordinary. Never get old. I'm looking for that experience of wonder.
If you love them enough to drive an hour to cheer them on as they get beat 11-0 in the rain, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Throw that ball, Diane. Woo! You got this.
A new reality show is airing tonight, and the very stars of it are from right here in Salt Lake City. NewsLine reporter Valentina Yingling is in Salt Lake to tell us more. Valentina.
The Real Housewives has made its way to Salt Lake and has many anxiously awaiting the premiere.
Don't drink, don't swear, treat your body like a temple.
After having announced the plans of creating a Real Housewives of Salt Lake at New York BravoCon in 2016, the cast member Lisa Barlow, Mary Cosby, Heather Gay, Meredith Marks, Whitney Rose, and Jen Shaw are announced on September 9th of this year.
I think that would be interesting because, you know, we have a different religion here and just a different lifestyle, and, you know, when you wake up, you can go skiing in the winter and, you know, just a bunch of different things.
Some are even planning on starting traditions around the new show.
I think I want to start a tradition where we're going to decide on one specific person in that episode, and we're going to place bets to see how many times they can cry in that one episode.
The show will highlight the lives of 6 very different women in the Salt Lake area. The stars are from both in and out of the state, currently residing in Utah.
My favorite thing that I like about it is all the drama. I like watching how other people and other adults compromise and go through normal problems.
The women are of different backgrounds and religion. The cast also includes a business owner, mother, and LGBTQ woman.
I like watching those kind of shows just because they're really funny and it's inspiring to see how other women live their life.
The first episode will premiere tonight on Bravo at 10 p.m. It will also be available on several streaming platforms such as Sling TV, Fubo, or Hulu. Reporting for NewsLine in Salt Lake City, Valentina Yingling.
When quarantine started back in March, many people had to resort to the entertainment they loved when they were younger. NewsOne reporter Edison Carr shows us why many found pleasure rediscovering their past.
Honestly, I just felt like I was in like 7th grade again, hanging out with my friends.
They couldn't go to movies, parties, or even sporting events.
So Olivia Carver and her roommates had to step back in time in order to pass the time.
We pulled out the GameCube and played some like Mario Kart.
With all the uncertainty surrounding the coronavirus, people wanted to feel comforted. They wanted a sense of security.
I had decided to reread a book series that I found and loved in high school, and it just was very comforting.
I reread and watched everything Harry Potter. Others played board games, old video games, or reignited their childhood passions.
I spend an hour and a half at least every single day playing Mario Kart.
Harry Potter, Hannah Montana, Twilight, and Avatar: The Last Airbender are just a few examples of nostalgic things that have gained traction again.
All the freedoms that we experienced were very much limited to the point where we were like little kids again with our parents.
People have had so much time that they're not used to, so they just get a lot of time to reflect and look back on their lives, kind of relive those moments.
People really had to focus on the past and like things that they experienced like when the world was normal, and so nostalgia plays a big role in that because they're missing what life used to be like. It shows that people can find ways to cope with the uncertainty of the world even in the darkest of times, but in this case they had to look back in order to move forward. I'm Addison Kerr, reporting for Newsline in Provo.
Thanks for joining us today for Newsline. For more information on our stories or to share them with your friends, check out our website at universe.byu.edu/Newsline. Have a great day.